Hello YouTube, Blade Brothers here. Continuing on with the multi-tool series, wanted to introduce the other Leatherman multi-tools that I have. So you can see here they're spaced here. We will start from basically right to left. The first one is the Leatherman Rev. Zoom in here. Okay. It's a sort of a more simple type of multi-tool. So it opens up with pliers, but the pliers are not spring assisted or anything. I like the little curvature it has with the grip here. So even though it's not assisted, relatively easy to control. Your typical plier heads with the wire cutter. Other tools it has is, let's see here. Can opener. It has a little bit, this is a medium-sized screwdriver. Let's zoom in. So screwdriver tip with a bit of a file here, so only single pattern file. A little bit of a hook type of tool here. There's measurements engraved into the file on the back. I would have preferred if it was just a diamond file instead, though, because the fact is you wouldn't need measurements at sort of this much length. And then, of course, the primary components. Also, there's a Phillips head as well as a large flathead screwdriver. Little symbols here to indicate that. And then on the outside, you will get access to the blade. So it's still common with Leatherman tools, the 420 high carbon stainless steel. Decent blade. But this is basically it. It has a pocket clip. So it doesn't come with any sheath. This is really designed to be sort of just a simple clip to your belt and use type of situation. Okay. The second tool is a unique little set. It came with these components basically. It has a little leather sheath, but you can see here it doesn't have like a belt loop or anything. But it does come with this little carabiner from Leatherman. So you can kind of hook it to like your belt or whatnot, like your belt loops. It's also a bottle opener here and a mini hex wrench here. So that's pretty interesting. Let's get this out. And get the tool out. Wow, it's in there pretty tight. Okay, here we go. And this is the Leatherman Sidekick. So, and you can see right here, it has the spring assisted opening. So it will automatically open. So all you have to do is apply pressure to close it. It has your regular pliers, needle nose with wire cutter blades. And then you could possibly use the center area for wire stripping. The internal tools here, pretty similar to the Rev actually. So you have a flathead screwdriver as well as Phillips head. And then on this side, and note neither the Rev or the Sidekick here actually has like a locking mechanism for the tools. So there's a little lanyard hole here, or lanyard loop. The bottle opener, or sorry, not bottle opener, the can opener. It has that single-sided file with the measuring, like the measurements for a ruler purpose, as well as a smaller size flathead screwdriver head. It has a small serrated blade, as you can see here. So, also with a pocket clip. So, your standard roughly 2.5 or 2.6 inch blade, 420 high carbon stainless steel. And see, there's no lock even for the, well, there is a lock for the blade, but not for the other tools. I'm sorry. And then there's also a saw. So there's an additional tool that is the saw for the Sidekick here. Okay, but there's no other additional blades on this side. So, okay. Finally, we have this little rig. So this is actually what I keep in my car, and in there's actually two tools. So we'll pull out the little extension bar and I'll show you why I have it here. So I have two of these, one for the wave, and then I also keep one with this tool set. So it does come, so it has a sheath. I'm basically using this sheath, and then I also have the bit set. So I keep this basically whole set in my car. But there's two multi-tools involved in this sort of rig. One is the main one, which is the Leatherman Crunch. So it's different in the sense that it's not a standard plier type. It's actually locking wrench style. So you can see here. You can still do wire cutting, and there's actually another groove here for wire stripping as well. So you would fit wire through there and then actually use this section to strip wire if need be. Has measurements on this side, which I find much more useful if you use this design. And you can see how it's adjustable for the width of the overall compared to, let's say, let's use the Rev here. The widest width compared to the widest width here would be, I can still go. Okay, so it's got a little bit more width, and definitely the locking will help. So that's why I keep this particular set in my car for, you know, minor fixes and things like that. Included with this set is, so it does have a lock here. You can see there's a locking mechanism up top here. There's a small serrated blade. It's about 2.2 inches. And then, oops, sorry, the zoom was kicking in. Let's move it to this side. So it has a file. Although it doesn't have the diamond grit, it has the double pattern as well as the single pattern file, which is a little bit more useful than that, the Rev or the Sidekick. It has that lanyard loop again. There's also a small size flathead screwdriver, and then a, I would guess, medium to small size Phillips head, and then a medium flathead. Okay. So it doesn't have a lot of tools because of the locking wrench mechanism. So, but if you actually, you basically snap this back, it loosens this part because it has a little notch right there. So if you actually put it back down, okay. I really like the fact that it's such a slim profile compared to, say, like, look at the, so the Rev is a little bit wider because it kind of tapers out, but the Crunch is just slim profile. I mean, there's this little portion of the jaws that sticks out here, but that's fine. It's not too intrusive. And what I was about to show you is that if you actually take out this sort of the adjuster for the locking pliers, it's actually a bit driver here. You can see the hex bit. So you could use it for your bits, although the reach might not be great. That's why I have the extender bar here. So now that you have the extender bar, you can see now you have a full set of bits for your basically different types of screwdrivers. So that's the Crunch, which is the primary tool. But there's a few what I consider essential tools that are missing from the Crunch. I mean, you saw it only had a small blade, which I don't mind that much typically because I have everyday carry. I always carry a knife. But other tools, like a great example is there's no scissors. I consider scissors to be relatively important, especially, you know, for being inside my car, opening up packages, cutting, you know, cord or things like that. So what I did is actually within the case, I can fit both this tool and the other one, which is the Micra. So this is a nice little compact tool that would actually, I would have it just sitting next to the Crunch inside the sheath and keep it all in one rig within the car. So the Micra, it's not a pliers, it's scissors. So it already checks off the first most important thing that I was saying. It'd be nice to have scissors. And then it also has a small file. Oh, sorry, the file's on this side. Diamond grit file. Additional screwdrivers. Well, but I have the bit set, so that doesn't really matter as much. And then there's a little blade, which I don't see a lot of purpose for, but it's just a nice to have. More importantly, what I really like is there's actually tweezers. So this is a nice little feature. And this is a cool little design too. It's not actually a Phillips head screwdriver, as you can see here. It's not crossed. There's no cross section. But because of how it's tapered, you could still use it for Phillips head screws. That's why it actually is labeled for Phillips. So in a bind, you have this as an option. Furthermore, the last tool is pretty interesting. It has a bottle opener as well as a small screwdriver. Let's see if I can get that. Yeah. So those are like the bottle opener, the tweezers, and the scissors is really what I care about. So it covers those, and to put it together all in one set checks all the boxes, so to speak. And You can see how it fits in nicely with everything. So it fits together like this, and it works great. So I have this rig in my car. The Rev, I just keep it in my desk. So it's, you know, simple use, but, you know, when I need to like use some needle nose pliers, or more common is just to have a knife to like open envelopes and small packages and things like that at my desk, then that's what the Rev is kept for. The Sidekick is actually, this particular set is actually in my son's hiking backpack, or his go bag also. So it's a nice set, you know, the spring action helps. And typically he also has a EDC carry knife, so he doesn't really need the knife, but more so the pliers and things like that. So it's a nice little rig. And it came as a set like this, so it's pretty interesting. And while I don't normally carry a multi-tool like on my belt, I always advocate to it's a good option to have the pocket clip, because, you know, when you're actually you take it out and start using it, and then you just need to tuck it away rather than, you know, stick it in your pocket. I'd much rather clip it to my belt and then be able to pull it off my belt. It's just easier. So Leatherman does sell the pocket clips as a sort of optional accessory, similar to the lanyard loop. If I typically have a case like this, then I might not go for the pocket clip. But in this case, these do not have a case, so it's a good idea to have a pocket clip. All right, this is my review of my other Leatherman multi-tools. I think the last video I will do for this multi-tool series is covering some of the other multi-tools that I have that are not falling into the prior categories of one-hand opening, but also not Leatherman branded. You see a majority of mine are Leatherman branded. Well, I do actually have some that are not. I bought this a while back. This is a, let me zoom out here, a Gerber suspension. So something like this, good little tool to have. Sometimes, you know, loan it to a friend or whatnot. Comes with a little sheath. Another one is the Victorinox. So I will do my next video also covering the Victorinox here. It's a very interesting little set. And last but not least, I also have, from sort of taking a more tactical perspective, is the SOG, the SOG. This one, the interesting thing is the assisted opening. You see how it's sprung into action? And it's locking right there. So let me get a zoom in view of that. So flick the wrist and look, springs into action. It's assisted opening. So that's definitely something interesting about the SOG multi-tools, as well as it has the compound leverage. So instead of just having your the jaws of the pliers directly one piece with the handlebars, you actually, it's separate, and it has these gears that will actually provide you with better leverage when you're gripped into something. So I'll go in more detail with these other multi-tools. And this will be the last video for the multi-tool series. But if there's other multi-tools you would like to see or know about, feel free to send us comments. Would love to hear what you think. As always, your support is deeply appreciated. Please feel free to leave us comments and feedback. And please like and subscribe our channel. Thank you. Have a good one.